Hi everyone. Today I wanted to talk about a deck that I call Darth Brigade, which is a mix of black, D-Brigade, and red, which has been a pretty cool, fun combination to have. You get the best of both worlds, essentially a rookie rush with a lot of cool deletion effects. And there's plenty of level 5s that actually work between both. So let's take a look at what we have here. So first, our classic D-Brigade eggs. Start off with 4 Pagumons and 1 Tsunemon. Usually you can go on top of these eggs and they let you, on deletion, check for the top card of your deck. If it's black Digimon, you get to add it to your hand. So that can help you draw some cards that you might need later on. And Tsunemon, if you have a Digimon of the same name, which you'll often have multiple Commandmons, your Digimon gains plus 2,000. So whatever your Commandmon you have can potentially have plus 2,000 as long as you have another Commandmon out there. We run, of course, Commandmons. We run all of the different kinds, but the numbers are slightly different. So we run 4 of the blocker Commandmons, we run 4 of the on deletion Commandmons, 4 of the 2-drop Commandmons, and only 1 of the 4-drop Commandmon. It does swing for more than the rest, but it is not going to be that useful since a lot of the times you want your Commandmons to be swinging, checking for cards, and moving on and gathering in your trash for Darkdramons, for example. So the blocker Commandmon, of course, sometimes you need to drop for the full 4 in order to block some attacks, but ideally you can want to Digivolve off the egg so that you don't have to pay the full price. Or with the on deletion Commandmon, these, when they get deleted, you get to check the top 3 cards from your deck. If there's a Commandmon name, you get to play it for free, so you can get a blocker Commandmon out that way. Or the 5,000 DP Commandmon as well. Again, you don't want to bring this one straight from your hand because it does drop for 4 memory, which is quite a bit. It's pretty expensive. What you do want to bring from your hand is the 2-drop Commandmon, which you could do, for example, Digivolve on top of your egg with a Commandmon, and then drop this one for 2. You already have 2 Digimon ready to go in turn 2 and swing. And much better if you have the on deletion Commandmon, you can essentially try to get another Commandmon out from your deck after you've swung, and if it's died, you get another Digimon out. Right. Aside from that, we also run a few other level 3s. We run 2 of the Chumon. Chumon's block for the memory, so if your opponent is running Pokemon, you can block the gaining of the memory with this. We run 2 because they might get around one of them. It is only 1,000 DP, but it's very easy to pop, very easy to get rid of. We also run 2 of the Sun Arisamon promos. For reasons that we'll see in just a little bit, they add piercing to any black Digimon with 13,000 DP or more. And if you Digivolve on top of it, if you have a black Digimon with 13,000 DP or more, you gain security check +1. So obviously, if you can, you want to get this off of an egg and continue going from there. And we'll talk more about that in just a second. So let me get these ready to talk about. Ideally, you'd have some swinging going on with these types of cards right here. And last but not least, we also run a Hagurumon. Hagurumon lets you on play trash a Digimon card with Machine or Cyborg in its traits in order to draw 2 cards. In case you're not aware, all of the Commandmons as well as all the D-Brigade cards are kind of cyborgs, so you can actually trash any of them over to your trash and draw 2 cards. So if you're looking for a Darkdramon for later on in the game, you can start to add this to, you can add to your trash one of the Commandmons in order to keep looking for it, try to get it out. Next, we run 3 level 4 that are black. We run 2 Sealsdramon, which count as D-Brigade cards, and 1 Guardiamon. All of them are blockers, and the Guardiamon in particular has an inherited that lets you, when attacking, trash a Digimon with Machine or Cyborg in order to draw 2 cards. Again, all the D-Brigade cards are cyborgs, so you can literally throw one of your D-Brigade cards to the trash in order to draw 2 more cards and look for those precious resources that you might need later on. And so either one of these can Digivolve into Sun Arisamon and help you keep going from there. So you can have something like this type of stack right here. Next, I want to talk about some of the Tamers because they are important. We run red Tamers here in this Darth Brigade situation, if you will. I run 2 Tai Kamiyas that are from the starter deck. Each one adds +1 DP to your Digimon. It doesn't matter what color they are, so it works really well to bring up your DP when swinging, not just on your Commandmon, but the rest of the Digimon. We also run 3 Takuya Kambaras because their on deletion effect when they turn into the red hybrids is going to be pretty strong. So we'll talk about that in just a second. Takuya is actually one of the ones that you ideally want to have as part of your stack. And last but not least, we run 2 of the red ties from BT1 for extra security checks, and of course for that memory that you want to have at the start of your turn. Your opponent might try to choke you a little bit. Tie is a good one to have available for that. Next, the other level 4s that I run are 4 of the Burning Greymon, a pretty strong hybrid. It can digivolve of a Takuya Kambara, gain plus 2,000 DP from his effect, and if it were to reach more than 10,000, which for example with 2 ties on the field it would reach 10,000, it can get a security check plus 1. It can also of course digivolve of the other red Tamers, and swing for game for just 2 memory and that type of stuff. Burning Greymon is a pretty strong card. We definitely want to make sure that we run 4 of those guys and go from there. Next, our level 5s have a Metal Greymon. I only run 1, but you can see it digivolves from either red or black, so it can go on any of these stacks right here. Let's say ideally that you want to go on top of Gardramon over here. We also run 2 of the Gigadramons that gain plus 2,000 on the Inheritable. You can run that over there. And 3 of the Megadramon that gain 2,000 DP to whatever digivolves on top of it. And they can all switch around. You can digivolve if of either black or red on all 3 of them. So you can mix and match your level 5s. Not only that, but they also count as cyborgs. So if you want to trash them with Gardramon's effect or with the Hagurumon effect, you are able to do that and search for more cards that you need. So everything is running pretty strong here. Additionally, I will mention that the Megadramon at this point would have plus 2,000, which gets it up to 9. If you have a tie out there from the starter deck, he'd be swinging for 10. And according to Takuya Kambara, if your Digimon is more than 10,000, you get an additional security check. Sometimes you could check with Megadramon 2 security cards for 10,000 DP, and that could get you closer to winning a game potentially if you need to be swinging and might rely on some luck. After that, we have Darkdramon. Darkdramon is a very cool card, goes really well with D-Brigade. I only run 2. You can digivolve if you'd like, and it would gain all of those abilities potentially from there, and it can digivolve off of either Megadramon or Gigadramon. Not Metal Greymon. Metal Greymon is strictly red, but Megadramon is treated as a black Digimon, so you could potentially digivolve into Darkdramon for 3 if you needed to. But of course, if you played D-Brigade before, you know that Darkdramon can play for just 3 memory if you have 5 D-Brigades in your trash. If you've been trashing Commandramons, if you've been swinging with the Commandramons, or trashing them with Hagurumon or any of the effects, trying to get all of that, you easily get to be able to play Darkdramon for 3 memory, and he has rush, so he can swing the turn that he comes out. You could rush for game with this card. You could potentially play Darkdramon, rush your opponent, and then Burning Greymon if you have the memory for it off of one of your Tamers and swing for game. You could do that. We run 2 Craniamons. If you're not familiar with Craniamon keeps your opponent from deleting it due to their effects. They cannot Gaia Force it. They cannot do any of those deletion options that you were used to. So if it goes onto your Digimon, it will protect everything that's a blocker. So your blocker Commandramons would be protected from deletion by Craniamon. They would not be able to get, for example, Shortler Hearts from purple or any of those types of cards that delete board thanks to Craniamon. So we run 2 of those. I also run Avenge Kidmon, and Avenge Kidmon is used because option cards heavy decks are pretty strong against this type of deck. D-Brigade, it's torn apart by options. So Avenge Kidmon, if you're not familiar with it, puts all of the option cards between you and your opponent's trash and puts them back in the deck at the bottom. For each card that you return this way, you reduce the play cost by 1. So if you and your opponent have a combined number of option cards that are like 12, you could actually potentially play this for 0 and give yourself an advantage. If you're playing purple is known for using a lot of options. That's why Avenge Kidmon is pretty strong to counter that. Can also digivolve on top of these Digimon and swing, for example, for 13 and plus 1 security check. Avenge Kidmon can come in and check twice for a lot of DP, thanks to all of the other cards that are working together with it, right? Um, as you'll notice, the red started. I'm sorry, not the red started deck, but the red Takuya. I'm sorry, Tai from um, BT1 gets security check +1 on red cards. So Darkdramon or Craniumon would not be able to gain that ability. But if you Digivolve an Avenge Kidmon of a Metal Greymon or Gigadramon, then it would gain that ability to security check +1 plus whatever DP boost from, for example, the Megadramon or Gigadramon at that point. And I had Craniumon up here. He actually cannot Digivolve for the Metal Greymon. Only Avenge Kidmon would be able to do that. And if you haven't noticed, this Metal Greymon actually gives piercing to Dragon King pin, which Avenge Kidmon actually is. So it actually would give piercing to Avenge Kidmon and destroy Digimon while checking cards, which is pretty strong at that point. Next, we have Omnimon Alter S. Omnimon Alter S de-digivolves all of your opponent's Digimon by 1, and then deletes everything that's 5,000 DP or less. And it can digivolve off of either red or black. So whether it's Avenge Kidmon, Darkdramon, or Craniumon, you can digivolve on any of them and create havoc for your opponent. You can also make it unblockable by returning a level 6 Digimon to your hand. So if you digivolve off of Craniumon, you can, when attacking, send the Craniumon back to your hand, and Omnimon cannot be blocked, and he can swing and check some cards for a lot of DP. On to the last part, which is the options. I run 2 ultimate connections, which if you have a level 5 card with Cyborg in its name, you can trash it from your hand in order to gain 2 memory and draw 1 card. And all of these cards, the Metal Greymon, the Gigadramon, and the Megadramon, they're all level 5 cyborgs. If they're in your hand and your opponent checks into it from security, you can trash one, gain 2 memory, and draw a card. It's almost like a Jack Raid as long as you have one of those cyborgs in your hand. You can also play it turn 1, hitch a Gigadramon, gain 2 memory, and draw 1 card, which if you it does cost 1, so you're actually just gaining 1 memory and drawing 1 card, which is fine. Because it's kind of a huge advantage to start off with a little bit more memory. But it's better, it's almost like a Jack Raid off of security if you have a Cyborg level 5 in your hand, and it's pretty cool to see your opponent lose that memory when they were counting on it. Next, 2 Atomic Blasters. You're going to destroy those little guys that are around. Obviously, you need the red trigger, so if you can get your 2-drop tie on the field, you can play this Atomic Blaster. Or if you are Digivolved up to a level 5, they count as red. They all count as red, so you can use your Atomic Blaster at that point, no problem. Delete multiple Digimon adding up to 8,000 or less. Again, small Digimon that are tactical are rampant in this setting, so you want to make sure that you do that. And last but not least, Iron Fist Onslaught, one of my favorite cards. This can delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest play cost. Your opponent is ramping up the field with a lot of high DP Digimon. If you have the same, you would delete them all together. If they have, for example, if your opponent has 2 Digimon with 12 play cost, you would delete both of them. So Iron Fist Onslaught can be very good, very tactical, and if they pull it off of security, if they check into it, well, they're not gonna have fun with it. But definitely not, right? So one of the cool cards. I wish I could run more of them, but there's simply just not enough space, right? So thank you guys for checking out this video on this Darth Brigade deck. I think it's a really cool, really fun one that I'm gonna keep working on. If there's any updates, I might let you know about them, or if you have any suggestions, let me know. I would love to know more about what you guys think of this deck. Thank you guys.